when we declare our independence, there were only 3% of Indonesian literate. 97% are illiterate. But then, with various programs, we have achieved. Sorry. I need to use PowerPoint. Please discount my time, Excellency. Okay, so the illiteracy now in Indonesia becoming the rural phenomenon and female 45 age and above. While we concentrate on the 15 to 24 years, and I think now because of the very massive compulsory basic education, massive literacy program, and then also what we call equivalency programs through non-formal education, now we have been able to reduce the illiteracy among the 15 to 24 years old from 12% to almost now 0.5%. So that based on the MDGs framework, we are now on the right track. This is also happening not only at national level, because we also disaggregated to 33 provinces in Indonesia. We still have problem in 2 provinces in Papua, Papua Barat, which is the most less developed right now. So we are concentrating on that. But when we review the comparison based on the economic categories, and then based on the quintile, now the differences between the 20% poorest to the 20% richest of the community are now almost eliminating. So now it is already pro-poor, equal, and not only based on socioeconomic, but also by gender, but also based on socioeconomic data. What are the challenges? Right now, how to keep increasing the literacy education program, especially among hill tribe, mountainous tribe, isolated rural and islands in Indonesia, and also slum urban areas. And then we would like to develop and disseminate the best practices to increase women participation in literacy program. And then how can we also reduce the widening access to 9-year compulsory basic education through non-formal? We have equivalency program packet A equal to primary and packet B equal to junior secondary, and then developing different strategy for social marketing and also ensuring the achievement of education for all. We have many different programs for rural categories. We have program for coastal communities. We have program for mountainous and isolated tribe. We have program for farmers. We have program for housewife, and also we have program for Islamic education, boarding school in the country. This is some of the picture how we develop the program, bring the program to people live in 3,000 meters above sea level, and also less developed, very difficult in transportation. We have also developed program among the big river, among the small islands in Indonesia. We have different methodology for different geographical condition. We have also developed the alternative schooling to bring back the dropout from the primary or junior secondary, and then by offering different life skill programs, so they have incentive to continue their study and use the literacy for functionality in their life. And we also address specially for housemaid, because in urban areas a lot of families having housemaid, many of them are illiterate. So then by bringing them the program, getting permission from the owner, from the household, and also introducing different skills that really improve their competency in their serving in the family. And we also develop a special program for Islamic boarding school, but this need to be enriched by different vocational aspects. We have a special approach to ethnic minorities because for them sometimes education is not really important, but then we have to bring sociologists, anthropologists to understand the world of view, and then introducing a special tailor-made program, mother tongue education to those tribes in Indonesia. And we have moved from literacy, just the ability to read and write and also count, to introducing the certification process. In 2005, 2007, we ensure that all target group, all participants end up with the certification process. But that's not enough. 2008, 2009, we introducing life skill education and entrepreneurship. But now, 2010, 2014, we would like to ensure for literacy as an empowerment process, how they also mastery the information technology and also use all kind of the learning facilities to become independent in their life. Right now, we have a very specific program for women literacy, writing culture for mothers newspaper, and also for the children, family literacy, bringing family as one entity, especially in extended family. And also, we also approach the age care life skill education because 45% of our illiterate are above 45 years old. And many of them are already, as a senior citizen. And women empowerment life skill is also being brought into program. Community reading center is very important to maintain the literacy level and also to bring other information that very important for their daily life. This is some of the model how we develop the writing culture among the post participants, and by providing technical assistance and also seed money so they can produce their own newspaper, share their ideas, etc. And we have also bringing children into the program with the parents, with their grandma, so then they can develop also the newspaper among the children to share the ideas. And this is a different model of family literacy. We bring many of the university students in their community services for 2 or 3 months to help the rural people through literacy program. And also entrepreneurship literacy is very, very important and very attractive. So we have to bring different modalities and also vocational training that relevant to them. So then the literacy, not only for literacy itself, but really for empower them and also for the welfare of the family. And this is some of the senior citizens, but still being covered in the program. So it's very important for them because the life expectancy of Indonesia now is more than 72 years old. So we have seen senior citizen will be part of the problem in the program. So we have developed different strategy for them. And I think the most important aspect is women empowerment oriented life skill program through different kind of the activities. You name it, from the simple house dressing, and also to the what we call spa, and also some kind of the creative industry that being developed by them in the locality. And this is also we develop in cooperation with many CSR. How can when the maid come to the mall, in addition to bringing the children, they can also learn from the special place for them, what we call the reading center in the mall. We have more than 50 now all over Indonesia. So in addition to targeting the maid, but also targeting the young by bringing information through the center.
Thank you. We have 2 minutes.
Yes, I will finish before 2 minutes. Yeah, this is a smart houses. We have developed more than 500 altogether in Indonesia. Here we have ECD program. We have computer training. We have different kind of life skill and also literacy program. And this is we also bringing the sustainable development as a content of the training. So then in their living condition, they understand the importance of education for sustainable development. So this, because Indonesia many times hit by disaster, and we have a special program for area hit by, frequently hit by disaster, by providing caravan, mobile learning center, etc. So at the end, this is our challenge: how to measure literacy competency, because we expand the competency. How to increase the target, the focus of target, alignment of the program because of age, ethnic, geography, belief, culture, and social economy, and also bringing gender mainstreaming into the program, developing different model of mother tongue, partnership with NGO and civil society organization, very big promotion, bringing university, and also evaluation of data collection. Yearly, we have 200,000 households being surveyed to know the percentage of ratio of the illiteracy in our country. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Indonesia, for that presentation. We appreciate you very much. And now